The Walking Dead Season 11 Part 3 is going to begin here shortly, so I thought I'd throw my hat in the ring and give my death predictions for Season 11 Part 3. So here we go. Possible spoilers are ahead. I don't know any spoilers, so if you do know them, please do not comment them. I don't want to know anything. This is just pure predictions on my part. I do not know anything. If it has been spoiled for you, don't spoil it for someone else, please. So do not comment down below if you do know who's going to die through spoilers or anything like that. Do not put that down there. These are just my predictions and what I think is going to happen. So who knows how right I'm going to be. So in 11C, I think the fat is going to get trimmed in the back half of season 11 here. I think this is the time where we're going to see a lot of characters go down. Now, I do think the show is going to have a pretty happily ever after ending, as much as The Walking Dead can have. I think they are going to, but before we get to that point, I do think there's going to be a lot of characters who are going to bite the bullet. First off that I want to discuss is Rosita. A lot of people have been talking about her dying for many seasons at this point, and I think she's going to die this season, but my curveball I want to throw to all of you is she doesn't just die, also her baby Coco also goes down with her. I think it'd be a pretty heart-wrenching scene. From the trailer we see that the Commonwealth may be getting infiltrated by walkers, and maybe she's running away trying to find safety, what have you, and that is when Lance sees her wandering about, takes her out. Okay, very similar to how Lori dies in the comic book. If you know how that goes down, I think that is how Rosita and her baby are going to go out within the show. Very messed up, very cruel, but it is The Walking Dead. We should not forget that. And then let's pivot to Father Gabriel. Now, Father Gabriel's been a character that's been around for a very long time, just like Rosita, but I think his time is finally going to come. His comic book counterpart actually dies in the Whisper arc in the comics, but within the show, he's still kicking, of course. But I think in 11C, he's finally going to die. Now, how is he going to die? I'm not 100% sure. I think he'll probably go out fighting in some way or another, but I do think he's going to go out in 11C. Now, let's talk about a group of characters that have not been touched since they've been introduced, shockingly enough. We're going to talk about Connie's group. So we have Connie, Kelly, Magna, Yumiko, and Luke, even though we haven't seen Luke in feels like a long time. But I do think good majority of those characters out of that group are going to die here in 11C. Now, I think Connie's going to live. I think Yumiko's going to live. Magna, I'm 50-50 on, but I think Kelly's going to go, and I think Luke's going to go. I think Kelly dying affects that group the most. It'd be the most emotional and impactful out of that whole group. And I think they're going to kill Luke because the actor who plays him is off making Harry Potter movies and such now. I think they brought him back for an episode, killed him off, and, said peace. I definitely see that happening probably early on in 11C. And again, a coin flip on Magna. She could go out too. I know a lot of people have been throwing out that she's going to get Dwight's death from the comic book. This was early on. I don't think she's getting that arc at all. I really don't. I could see her dying in 11C, but also I could see her living all the same. I do think Connie's good, and I do think Yumiko's good. But speaking of Yumiko, I think her brother Tommy is going to die. They've slowly been building up his character since he's been introduced, and he's been pretty cool so far. But I think just when you really start to like him, I think that's when he's going to get taken away from us. A classic Walking Dead move. I think they're going to do that with Yumiko's brother, and I think he's going to die in 11C. Now, if we can kind of transition to some of the big bads that I think are going to die, I definitely think Hornsby's going to die. I think he will definitely die before the season ends. I don't know when he's going to get dealt with. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets dealt with within the first 2 or 3 episodes of season 11, and then Pamela Milton and Sebastian really become the big enemy they have to defeat at the end of 11C. But I definitely see Hornsby dying in 11C at some time, probably early on in some way or another. Now, a couple characters that I think could die, but I don't think they are going to. They're, again, another coin flip, another 50-50. Jerry's a 50-50 character. I hope he lives, but I also could see them killing him off here in the last few episodes. And I also could see them killing off King Ezekiel. Now, I know he's, battled health issues and is coming back strong, but, again, this could be another Walking Dead kind of bait and switch of they do all these arcs of him getting better, and then just when you think all is well, you pull out the rug from underneath his feet and he gets bit or he dies in some way. I wouldn't be shocked if they did that, but also at the same time, I don't think they will, but you just never know with The Walking Dead, right? And before I forget, Aaron's also another character. A lot of people think that he's going to die in the last few episodes of season 11. I'm not that confident in that. I think he's going to make it. I really do. I think because he's kind of the last beacon and symbol of Alexandria, I think he's going to make it. Again, I could be completely wrong and I miss on this one, but I don't know. I just have an inkling that Aaron Aaron is going to survive all of the show. I could be proven wrong, but I think he's going to make it. Now, other characters that I think are very safe, those being Negan, Maggie, Carol, and Daryl. I think Princess is safe. I think Mercer's safe. I think Maggie's son's safe. I think Judith is safe. RJ. And I could be missing a few there, but pretty much your major players and major legacy characters are safe. One little theory I want to run by you that is probably not going to happen, but just think how messed up this would be. So we've been hearing all the stuff about all the spin-off shows. We have the Rick and Michonne one, the Negan Maggie one. Daryl's getting one, right? We also heard how Carol, aka Melissa McBride, backed out of the Daryl and Carol spin-off show. Now, could this be a sign that Daryl actually dies in 11C and the spin-off show is just all mirage and just there to think that he's actually really safe, but he's not? Wouldn't that be the biggest bait and switch in Walking Dead history? We think Daryl is going to survive, move on to a spin-off show, he's all good, but he ends up getting Rick's death from the comic books. Wouldn't that be the most messed up Walking Dead bait and switch, pull the rug out from underneath you type of thing you could possibly imagine? I don't think it's going to happen, but there's still that 1% in the back of my mind that I see this show doing something like that, and man, would that be messed up. Another character too that I just thought of that I think is not going to survive 11C is Negan's new wife and unborn child. I think they will also die. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I just have a feeling that that poor lady is not long for this earth, and I think her death is going to motivate Negan in a major way, in some way or another, and I think it just makes too much sense. I mean, Negan's happy, and I think it's kind of been proven at this point ever since season 8 that Negan can't be really all that happy. He's not allowed to be happy. I think she's going to die, which is of course horrific, but it'll be interesting if Negan kind of reverts back to more of his old school Negan, which honestly, they could use it. They could really use it at this point, and I think that'd just be a ton of fun to see Negan kind of go back to his old Negan ways. And obviously it's sad how he would get there, but I would love to see Negan revert back to, season 7 Negan for a little bit and really kind of rule the roost and have some fun. That would just be real cool. And of course, there's more ancillary characters that have been on the show for a while now that could be killed off, like Diane, Scott from Alexandria, who we have not seen in a very long time. But characters like that who, we kind of see in the background a lot. They do have speaking roles here and there, but really, they could disappear and we not really know, and it's not that big of a deal. But I definitely could see characters similar to those that I stated being killed off here in the last few episodes, because it would be impactful enough, I guess, because we do know those characters. It wouldn't shock me too much if they pulled a stunt like that. Elijah's another character people have predicted his death, and I don't know. I think he will survive. I think he will be a character that carries on. I don't know why. I don't have any real reasoning to believe that he's going to live or die, but I think just him being connected to Maggie, I think he's going to live, because eventually some of Maggie's people have to live, and I think he might be one. And I think he has some potential. He could have some good development going forward as a character, whether it's in the, he goes to the spin-offs or if he just lives happily ever after in The Walking Dead at the end of it. We'll see, but I think he will survive. I could be wrong, but we'll see. So that is kind of my disjointed list of who's going to live and who's going to die in The Walking Dead 11C. I'm sure you're not going to agree with it, and that's okay. That's what's great about making videos like this. So please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, who you think's going to live, who you think's going to die. And again, please don't spoil it for anyone if you have seen spoilers. Just give your own thoughts, just like I did. I think my biggest hot take is the Rosita one. We will see if that happens or not. It'd be quite interesting if they adapt Lori's comic death into the show. I wonder if The Walking Dead has it in them to still do something that messed up. We shall see. But with all that said, let me know your thoughts down below. And while you're down there, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. Until next time, guys, everyone have a great day, and thanks for watching.